Nicco Annan is one of the stars of P-Valley. Season 2 is dropping on Starz. Nicco, I mean, there's a lot happening in this first episode. There's a lot to wrap up from the end of season 1. Let's talk a little bit about, what we're going to see.
There's a lot to be seen,
there's
but it's more to feel.
Let's talk a little Uncle Clifford, from the end of, season 1 to, to maybe some of the challenges starting off in this new episode.
Okay, well, Uncle Clifford is the non-binary character that we see here in the world of P-Valley, and she goes by the pronouns of she and her. Uncle Clifford, we last leave her at Murder Night. That was episode 8 from season 1, and season 2 picks up 5 months later. 5 months later, and here we are in this fictitious world of Chucalissa, Mississippi, and the pandemic has hit. And we are able to see how this small business proprietor, like many people in the world, stays afloat. She owns this club called The Pynk, P-Y-N-K, and we are here and we're seeing there's a shift in ownership with Autumn Night, Uncle Clifford. They're splitting those things and trying to figure out how to make this work and stay afloat for all the family during this time.
I do want to ask about the character of Uncle Clifford, because we are in Pride Month right now in the month of June. And what does it mean to you to be able to portray a character like this on the show?
To portray Uncle Clifford it's a gift. It's just a gift across the board. I think that the representation that she has and the fact that she is a character that people from all different backgrounds seem to be able to identify with. And I think so because of the structure of the character. I think this is the way that all people are. We have a human aspect, and a lot of times we feel the need to have to put on or try to fit in one box or the other. And she's a character, and she represents people who don't do that at all and like get their elbow room to really just be who they are, take space in the world.
There is a funny line, because it's something that my parents used to say to me when we were younger and not following the rules, where it's like, do you remember rule number 6.2? This is what we're supposed to do. And there's a funny point where Uncle Clifford says, there's rule 45.32. Talk a little about, the rules maybe of the game and maybe the ones you follow, and just, kind of coming up with those for the business.
The rules are something, one, I think, like it's passed down from generations, and it's oftentimes taught by your parents or your grandparents. But to me, when I think about those rules, those are things that are used to instill character. We're here in this strip club, right? And this is a world where a lot of people deem people a certain way or have these real marginalized ideas and concepts around them. I think that the rules are meant to build character in terms of how Uncle Clifford is really rearing people to respect her, to respect the space that she's created for herself, but also in turn find that respect for themselves. I kind of feel like the rules are kind of like proverbs in a way, and then you have the whole pandemic of it all. So it's like rule number 92, life is like cocaine, it can be blown at any moment. And those that's just something to remind you to live in the moment, to be present, don't always think about tomorrow or worry about what happened yesterday.
So many industries during the pandemic got affected. And this showcases, one industry, especially the entertainment industry, that really had a shift during that time.
Yes, I was thinking, because this is a club, this is a business that's built on intimacy and gathering, right? And so you have to be like, the question is, how do you do that and remain 6 feet apart? Or how do you do that through a mask? How do you do that, during this time? And I think it's about the ingenuity that people across the board, again, have come up with. And through season 2, you get to see some of the creativity that Uncle Clifford has and how she is going to keep this club afloat. For example, at the top, they open up a little car wash, and it's a different type of car wash. And it's a means for all of the girls and guys of the club to still make money, to stay afloat. They're trying to get all of the PPE loans to keep the business afloat. How do you keep, to get the hazmat materials and things like that so that they can stay in operation? It was a struggle for everyone. And also just filming in the pandemic in and of itself was an extreme challenge. That's a part of what took us so long. So I hope you guys are hangry. We start on June 3rd, and we are going to give you 10 hot episodes that are going to make your summer everything.
You heard it right there. Nicco, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.